Walk your foot over, translate your body over to get into abduction of the hip. Arms out in front, extension of elbows and wrists, maximal external rotation, side bend away from the knee that's on the floor, rotate toward it, all from the lumbar spine, keep your chin tucked in, crown of the head up. Next, we're going to move on to the myofascial stretching. For the myofascial stretching, we're going to start with the psoas major, so we're going to do a couple for the lower body, a couple for the upper. For the psoas major, you are going to get into a half kneeling position. The knee that is on the floor, that is going to be the psoas that we are stretching. So you're going to start the ankle, you're going to bring it outside of the knee. You're going to shift your hips forward, go into hip extension. Retroversion of the pelvis. The foot that's on the ground, you're going to just slide that over to the side. Then go into abduction of the hip by moving toward that leg. Your arms are going to be out in front, external rotation, maximum extension of elbows and wrists. You're going to side bend away from the knee that's on the floor, rotate toward that side, keep your chin tucked in, push the crown of the head up, push your palms out away from you. So make sure that you're maintaining all points of contact. So ankle out to the side, retroversion of the pelvis, go into hip extension. Keep the abduction by moving over to the opposite leg. Keep that side flexion, and so we have the contralateral side flexion, ipsilateral rotation. So you're bending away from the leg that's on the floor, and you're rotating toward the side. Keep that chin tucked in, push the crown of the head up, push out with the palms of your hands. 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly come out of it. Now we're going to do same thing on the opposite side. So the ankle, outside of the knee. Shift your hips forward to go into hip extension. Retroversion of the pelvis. Walk your foot over, translate your body over to get into abduction of the hip. Arms out in front, extension of elbows and wrists, maximal external rotation, side bend away from the knee that's on the floor, rotate toward it, all from the lumbar spine, keep your chin tucked in, crown of the head up. So you're pushing out with the ankle, extending that hip, retroverting the pelvis, keep that chin tucked in, push the crown of the head up, side bending away from the knee, rotating toward it. 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly come out of it. Next, we are going to do the myofascial stretching for the rectus femoris. This one, we are in a similar position. We're in that half kneeling position. Again, the knee that's on the floor is the knee that we are going to be stretching. What you want to do is plant the hand of the knee that's on the floor. With the opposite hand, you're going to grab a hold of your ankle. You want to try and get your heel to touch your butt and bring it across the midline. If you feel comfortable, you're going to get nice and tall. Once you feel nice and stable, bring your arm out in front, extension of elbow and wrist, maximal external rotation, arm into flexion, straight up so that it's in line with the ear. Maintain that retroversion of the pelvis. We're going to hold this for 30 seconds. The most important thing, the rectus femoris is responsible for anteversion of the pelvis, flexion of the hip, and extension of the knee. So we want to reverse engineer all those actions, going into as much retroversion as possible of the pelvis, as much hip extension, and as much knee flexion as possible to get maximum stretch of the rectus femoris muscle. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come out of it. Switch sides. So your foot's in front. Plant your hand on the ground. Grab a hold of your ankle with the opposite arm. Try to get your heel to touch your butt. Bring it across the midline. Once you feel nice and stable, get nice and tall. Once you feel comfortable, get your shoulder out, extension of elbow and wrist, maximum external rotation. Arm straight up overhead. So you're maintaining retroversion of the pelvis, hip extension, and maximum knee flexion. Keep that chin tucked in, push the crown of the head up. 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly come out of it. And that is it for the lower body stretching. Next.